took the train up to Sydney to pick up Mowgli from the Unimog pound. He's a rescue.
Step 1 complete. I've got a temporary registration for 6-7 days to get it up to Queensland. Yeah, it was only 32 bucks. It's heaps cheaper than what I thought it was going to be. I just got to stick this on the front window. Alright, been driving for about 2 hours. I was told by the guys that where I bought it off to just drive an hour on the highway and then have a good, let it sit for half an hour and have a good check over it for leaks and whatnot. So I'm just gonna chill, have some food and see how we go. So far so good. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I just decided to get on the road. I've got maybe like 3 hours or so left to get up to the Gold Coast. Just decided to get on the road now because it's a lot cooler. Yesterday it was 40 plus degrees. It was so hot inside this cab. I drank 7 litres of water yesterday. Yeah, it was pretty hot. Lucky I don't mind the heat. My phone was on the windscreen there and it got too hot. It was in the sun there, but then I've put it on this one here and it wasn't in the sun and it's still overheated just because of how hot it is in this cab. A couple hours left, should be able to see the sunrise and get home. So down here, I was going to get the heavy vehicle essentially audit. I'm in Queensland, Australia. You have to get, when you're registering a truck, you need a safety certificate, which you need for all vehicles, and you also need a heavy vehicle essentially audit, or so they just check a whole bunch of other things for heavy vehicles. And the guy was insistent. If you just have a look down here, the key originally doesn't come out of the ignition barrel. I think this is obviously ex-army, they just don't want to lose their keys and they don't ever have to sort of take it out, I guess. But he was adamant that it was an issue and he couldn't pass it with it being stuck in there. I know it's law in Queensland that if you've got the key in the ignition, you can't walk away from your vehicle. If you're any more than 3 meters away from your vehicle, you can get fined. But whether that's a basic safety feature for them to fail me on is another thing. Anyway, I was going to get that changed anyway, so I went down to Dan at Dan. Luckily he was just down the road and he got me a whole new barrel and also matching door, because I couldn't lock the door. So he's given me 2 keys, a new barrel. It was pretty easy to take out. What I've done is I've just unscrewed this. I've just pushed the whole barrel underneath. I've taken out this little plate here, which is just a couple of screws. I've taken the plate off. I've pushed the barrel down and pulled it down out here with the wires connected, and then from there it was pretty easy. It was just a little clip out and then the other barrel just clipped straight back in. Yeah, so now I can take the key out of the ignition and I can actually log Mowgli up. Mowgli is the name of this truck.
After Christmas, we had to get Mowgli back down to Ulladulla. We put an ad on Gumtree to see if anyone needed a lift, mainly to keep Tymon company. And the only one to reply was Mary, also a rescue that needed transport to her new owner in Sydney. She's so cute!
Hey! Come here. originally I did a to scale floor plan, and I cut out to scale all the little things that I need to put in there. My motorbike, a fridge, the bed, and I had them all in individually, and I shuffled them around and found the best floor plan. And then I found this app, cost me $15. I think it's called Planner 5D. It's a very rough sort of 3D sketch, not the colours, and I'm adding items that stock standard in there, so they're not generally going to look the same. But yeah, I'll show you what I've been using. So it's pretty cool, like straight off the bat without any experience. Pretty easy to use. So this here will be the front, the truck part, and this will be the whole box. So there'll be some sort of door there about that size. Up the back here, it will be the rear barn doors of the Pantech box. Underneath, all underneath here is going to be storage, essentially the garage that you can access from the outside. The bed is going to be all sort of storage under the bed, and the bed sort of slides back a little bit so you can have a bit of a day bed. It turns into a little bit of a day bed and you can sort of watch TV. More storage there. And yeah, the kitchen needs to have all the basic sort of things. Fridge, cooker, sink. There's going to be a composting toilet somewhere in there. Possibly a shower in the corner there. Working on the design on that. Little wood heater, and yeah, more storage or cupboard or whatever. I definitely want this big window here. That was one of the main things. It needs to be really bright and open, and one of the main things was I lived in a house in Mollymook, and it had a massive window right next to the bed, so every night I was essentially sleeping under the stars, and it was amazing. So I'm going to recreate that for my first home. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's a very rough scale of what I'm going to model it off. It'll be pretty interesting to see how it actually turns out.
Not yet having the funds to have the box fitted on the back, Tymon did what he could, starting with tinting the windows in the cab. He used a DIY kit from Amazon, and it turned out pretty good. Oh, and this is Blake. His mum said he'd been fascinated by Mowgli and wanted to have a closer look. We soon found out you get a lot of attention when you drive a Unimog, especially in army colours. We sold the canopy to a guy called Rob, who owns his own Unimogs, that's plural Unimogs, in preparation for having the box built. And I got my learner license. As you can see, I'm pretty scared. Driving a big truck like this is a bit scary. In Australia, you need an MR license to drive this Unimog. This was a little four-wheel drive mission we did to check out a new surf brake.
Hey!
Hey!
That's the end of episode 2, I guess. We sort of backtracked a little bit, but I had a lot of footage that I thought you guys might be interested in, so I put that in there, and yeah.
Hopefully it helps someone who's buying a Unimog for the first time.
Yeah.
There's a few little tricks and things with a Unimog.
Tricks. And in the next video, we start to put holes and cut into mogs, so...
We get the box. The box gets put on.
Box gets put on, and we start cutting it up. pretty exciting and scary. Yeah. Catch ya.
Subscribe.
Where are you going, paper boy? Riding your bike today.